All right, let's do it. Okay, so when editing this video, I realized there's a couple holes in the story. To start off the second act, it was our night. It was the night right before we had a flight to Paris. We had a relatively early flight. It was around 6:50 in the morning. We wanted to be there a few hours early as we did not know what to expect. Taxi that we ordered to pick us up at 3 in the morning at our Airbnb in Rome. From there was about a 20 or 30 minute ride to the airport, where when we got there, there was like no one in the airport except us, and we were like way too early, and they didn't even open the airport yet, so we kind of got no sleep that night for nothing. But anyway, what we didn't realize at the time, but we realized once we got to the airport, was that we had an hour ride from our airport in Paris to our Airbnb. So we had no idea, no plan, no idea how we were going to get from the airport to our Airbnb. But much like the rest of the trip, we just kind of said, go with it, and it's going to work out. We got there around 1, the Airbnb around 1, and we were too early. The lady who checked us in was like, hey, go walk around, do some stuff. Like, I'm not ready yet. So we sat on a stoop for a while. Okay.
Look at Gavin chilling in Paris.
Let him roll.
Rolling dice out here in the streets of Paris.
All right, if I get a 4 or above, you buy me coffee. Be honest. Be honest.
Oh.
After that, we got into our Airbnb, and this was like kind of the leg of the trip, and a lot of the videos, you can tell we're really tired by this point. Like, a lot of them are like this. Doing right now, actually. Kind of curious what you're doing.
Making sure these shoes are comfortable so I don't fucking kill myself.
Or like this. And it's very telling of how the second half of the trip, how tired we were. So that was our first night in Paris. We like sat in a little bit and we decided, you know what, let's run up to Sacré-Cœur, which was like 10-minute walk from our Airbnb. So Sacré-Cœur is at the top. Hopefully I'm saying that right. It's at the top of the city, and you can see everything. The view is insane. So we spent a lot of time there because it was so close to our Airbnb. So that first night, we, had some drinking going on, a couple bottles. Yo, where we at, Luis? Show me what we got.
We in Paris, water.
What are we drinking?
Alps. Eau minerale naturelle des Alpes. Source, Montclair.
Slave time drinking champagne on the airplane. Spin around like a gun range. Beat it up like rampage. 100 bands. Cut your girl now, yo girl need a bandana. Grade A, A1. Change the color, icon. Black cold sounded by Louboutin. Horsepower. All this polo on, I got horsepower.
No. And, we were ready to take on the night. So we kind of sat up there and we said, you know what? Let's just go to the Eiffel Tower. It was like probably 10 or almost 11 o'clock at that point. We're like, yeah, let's go to the Eiffel Tower. Which, when you're boozed up, that's definitely a good idea at 11 o'clock at night. But what we didn't realize is that the metro stopped at midnight. So it was great. But we got there, we got to the Eiffel Tower, and I remember we like sat down, we walked around for a little bit, and by the time we got to the Eiffel Tower, it was like 12:30. So we kind of sat there on the lawn with everyone else. And I remember checking my clock, and it was 1 a.m., so 1 in the morning, and we look up, and there's the Eiffel Tower. There's the Eiffel Tower, just sparkling. And I can't describe how cool it was and how lucky I felt. We all felt to be there at 1 in the morning in Paris, seeing the Eiffel Tower light up with all these people around us. It was definitely like super cool, and that was one of the big check-in moments of the trip, was being there and experiencing that. And then of course from there, reality check, 2-hour walk home, which was less than fun.
We're crossing the
Seine River.
Seine River after we just watched the Eiffel Tower go dark. It's over there if you see those lights going up into
Yep,
the
right
sky.
there.
Look at the waves. The reflections.
It's what time, Luis? Show me your phone. What time?
1:21 in the morning, Paris time. Fuck. It's freezing out here, man. Might be summer, but it's still in Paris, you know? I ain't complaining. Woo! Let's get home. Holy Christ. Have an hour to get home.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm not
Wait,
kidding.
let me see. Wait, stop, pause.
1:47, 2:40's arrival time.
53 minutes.
It's never.
It's great now, but it definitely sucked then. But luckily we had enough alcohol still in us that wasn't too unbearable. So that first night was hard to beat. After that, we decided our second day that we would do a little shopping and take it kind of easy. So we went to like the Comme des Garçons store, and we went to the Supreme store. I remember we going to the Supreme store.
We did get Greg after.
We went to some shop. We went to Comme des Garçons.
Oh, we went shop. Oh, this is when we bought
my
our
God.
threads.
We went to Supreme.
Big day.
That was a
Supreme.
big day.
Can't read it.
Look at
Let's
Luis
say
bought Supreme.
On your pillow there.
Hold on.
Good night. We also saw the Louvre, I believe.
Either you want your photo?
No. I always get my days mixed up, but we went out to like that and saw some cool places and went shopping, and that was just kind of like a shopping day. That last night in Paris, we decided to go all out. We were on our last Euros, basically.
Euros. Look at my Euros. That's my change after I bought Supreme, bitch.
And we decided it was time to go out that night and just get rowdy. What are we gonna do? What are you guys actually doing?
Sorry.
Oh!
I'm trying to shoot here, dude. I'm trying to shoot here. I'm sorry.
And we ended up just getting hammered and going back up to Sacré-Cœur just like the first night. And we kind of sat up there and watched the day turn to night. And it was super cool. You know, sitting there on the lawn again, almost full circle. Like the first night we did it, and then the last night we did it. Being there with my friends, it was great. When we were out by the Louvre, there's this garden, and in the garden there's this statue that I've always thought was cool. I never knew the story behind it. I just saw a picture of it online one time, and I've made a bunch of art of it, and like I just thought it was cool. Before I knew the story behind the statue, I took it as angst. Like the guy is standing there with his hand in his palm, and he looks very like sad. I saw this man and I thought, you know, you connect, when you see art, you connect your own experience with it. So for me, it was like, man, is he wasting potential? Is he feel guilty about not doing something? I later learned that when we were there, that it was actually Cain after he killed Abel. So I think the feeling that he felt, or he was portraying, the artist was portraying in that, was completely different than what I had thought. But the feeling of remorse or regret. And if I had to choose one regret from the trip, I think it was that I wasn't mentally as present as I could have been. Physically, we were extremely present. I think we took Every moment, didn't take a single moment for granted. We did something the whole time. We were up late, out early, every night. I was actually surprised at how much we fit in there. 10 days seemed like a long time. But because I spent so much time thinking about this video and how I was going to document this trip, and ideas and angles of how I can tell the story so that I can seem somewhat interesting to people that I don't even really know on the internet, and worrying about that and worrying about how other people are going to interpret this story that I'm trying to tell, there was no need for that. There really wasn't. And I spent all that time thinking about it, and while I was thinking about that, I didn't even realize that, that angle was already unfolding in front of me. I was surrounded with my two best friends the whole trip. And really, what was so great about the trip was that we got to experience something together. And we got to experience a dream that we've all had since we were young, And that night, the last night in Paris, when we're up there at Sacré-Cœur, and Luis looks to me and Gavin, and he has a tear in his eye, and it sounds so stupid, but he has a tear in his eye, and he's talking about how he can't believe he's here, and he especially can't believe he's here with his two best friends. The places you go are going to be great, and everyone says, I went to Europe and it changed me, but it's not the places you go that change you. It's the people you choose to be around. So I spent all that time worrying about what other people were going to think of this trip or how I was going to tell the story, when in reality it was just the people around me that was everything. And the whole trip and everything was because I had my friends with me. So I would say, don't take that for granted, and you don't need to travel across the world to, feel at home, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, it was a sick trip, so that's all I have to say.
There I lay beside the Great Dane, astray in the south, obsessed by your mouth. And you've been away for the fall. I've barely seen you at all. Impressions over you, blue like bikini atoll. Shallow pain, but it's not deep down. Cigarettes while you're asleep now. I've taken less care, I feel weak now. You said you was flying to Milan in about a week now. I don't mind to reignite the fire. Besides, from that weed we light. If you try to ask me why, the fact that I've lied and you're tired of dying, well, I don't blame. I'll only claim to be in a state that closure was the way. She exposed my name, and now I'm supposed to tell you all them times and them place, but I'm still developing. Enveloped in the elephant of the room, I'm already in. I don't give up, it's irrelevant.